Hey everybody, coming at you in the middle of, I don't even know what to call this place. But during deer season, I'm always looking for a place to camp because most of the places I go to, people are deer hunting. Well, this is a property that the owner said that the house that was up near the road, you can probably hear the road, but the house that was up towards the road burnt down 30 years ago, and the property's just sat there, and said nobody's even been here 30 years. And he said, if you want to, you can hack your way in to the back of the property there, and it's pretty secluded because there's woods attached to that. And he said if you want to, you can set up a permanent camp and camp there for, you know, this winter, you know, while your other places are full of deer hunters. So it's worth checking out, it's worth looking at. And I've got a machete to show you, and I've got my new Iguana shelter that we're going to pull out and look at. And I might make coffee, I don't know, we'll see. I got to see if this place is even worth, you know, pursuing. So let's head this way. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit. Actually, let me just take you with me. Now I went ahead and kind of cleared sort of a spot. There's all kinds of junk out here, old tires and old blocks and stuff. All kinds of junk, old chicken fence wire. Look, there's an old tire over there. You can't hardly see it on camera, but it's got a double white wall. I've never seen one of them. There's just old air conditioner there. There's just junk everywhere. I've never seen so much junk out in the woods. Part of some kind of old blue cover. Look, this is hilarious here. This blew my mind. Look, this is an old Falstaff beer can. Look at that. When's the last time you saw Falstaff? That is hilarious. There's all kinds of junk out in there, glass jars and stuff everywhere. Look, there's an old brown glass bottle right there. I mean, this place, it's a dump. Look, there's an old Pepsi can. I think they're blue now. An old mason jar. All right, so there's all kinds of junk laying over there. Now this is where it gets really thick. This is the back of the property here. And so I brought some stuff. I brought Ray's axe. And then I've got my machete there rehandled. Now I think this is the point. I cleared up until here, and I'm gonna have to clear me a spot inside here. So let's get this backpack off. Oh, and I got something to say about the machete. Look, there's the machete I redid. You can recognize the micarta. We're gonna pull it out and use it to hack our way into the campsite. I cleared up until this point, but I managed to do it with Ray's axe, but I think I want to go ahead and get the machete out and use it. Now I want to talk about this handle here for a minute. This was the one that I redid, but I redid my redo. What I did was I put it on there and I didn't glue it because I wasn't sure what it was going to look like. So, because I thought I might want to take it off. Well, after I used it for a while, I realized I thought it was too big. And the oil that I put on, the true oil, I had to continuously put the oil on it over and over and over and over. So I thought, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off and I'm going to sand it and make it even smaller so it fits the hand even better. And then this time, instead of the true oil, I polished it on a polisher so it's nice and slick. And I added a lanyard and I glued it. So let's try to hack our way into here. Let me adjust the camera, because I think there's an opening up here. Kind of reminds me of those old shows on TV where they hack their way into the jungle. Now I got gloves on. The handle's a little slick, even though it's got that contour. So lanyard, take it like that, like that. I hear a woodpecker. This thing's loud. If I had a zoom, I'd find it and zoom in on it. Now I'm just going to take out the little tiniest trees to make a path. Alright. This seems like it's a little clearing. I'm gonna put the camera right in the middle and I'm gonna do a sweep. Well, actually, I'll take you off the tripod. I kind of hated, I wound up cutting into the ground a little bit on that, but it worked good. So let's look around. I don't know if I like this place or not. Look, it looks like there's garbage all over the place, out there and over there, but look, that old piece of a tree right there, that's firewood. Let's take a look around. There's bushes completely surrounding me everywhere you look. Look, there's part of an old blue tarp right there. Hard as a rock. Turns into like blue dust. Been here forever. And see, the sun hasn't even been hitting this area. Man, this is like a tire graveyard. Look at that. Look, Swinger 70 Jet Zone. Look, that's one of those old slots. Those are chrome slots. I think I can tell I pretty much don't like this place. And if this is what it's going to look like, this ain't going to be no permanent camp. But let's go further, because he said something about, he said it goes, the property goes like 30 feet past all the garbage, and he said there's an old oak tree that fell. So let's go and look. Alright, so I went on back a little ways further, and it's a lot nicer back here, and the fence is just right back there, but where the fence is, it gets kind of thicker. So I don't know. I was gonna work on this and set it up, make some coffee, but I don't know about this place. I don't know, it ain't got that feel to it. But anyway, we're here, so let's have a little fun. And I'm gonna try, this is some new camouflage, and I got a neck gator and a head net, and we may play around. We may try a little bit of hide and go seek. Now this stuff won't work here where everything's all brown, but up there a little ways where it's green, towards the end of the video, I'm gonna do a little bit of hiding and jumping out at you. So, but in the meantime, I am going to show you my iguana shelter. Now, this is an item that is made for the military. It's like a bug net, a pop-up bug net. And 2 different companies made it, and there was an NSN number. So that tells me that it was definitely a military type item. I brought some camouflage. We're going to play with that. I may throw it over the top of it. I got a ground sheet, some Tyvek. Now this, let's see, the rest of this we don't need. Yeah, that's coffee and water and a thermos, and then there's a silky saw in here. I got a Bushcraft Colorado pouch. Oh, I think Bushcraft Colorado, I think he retired. But this is a cool waxed canvas pouch, because you can put like a silky saw in one end, and then I'll pull the whole thing out. And then the other end, I'll put in like a neck knife and a silky pocket boy. So, you know, that's pretty cool. You can put that amount of stuff in one little pouch, because these silkies will cut whatever bag you put them into because of that sharp edge. So anyway, I want to show you that. Now this is the iguana shelter. I'm gonna pull it out and show you how, and I read some about it, but Katoma and Iguana made it for the military, and I think Iguana might have went out of business. I'm not real sure, but I got some Tyvek material that we're going to put down on the ground. This Tyvek material right here was wrapping for a 4x8 sheet of stainless steel. To keep it from getting scratched up. It was free, so why not use it? Now, you can probably cut it to size. Now, a lot of people, before they put down a ground sheet, they will clear everything out, but I'm not going to do that, because I like having that layer of pine straw and leaves under me for kind of a cushioning action. But what I do is I feel around under it, and like, see, there's this twist. Anything that I think might be uncomfortable, I'll feel around for it. Right there, look at that, see? Pine cone. Alright, so that's usually how I like to do a ground sheet. This is a lot tougher than a tarp. Now, let's look at this thing here. Alright, this is an iguana shelter made in Thomasville, Georgia. And it is a military item. Now, I was reading online. Look, I got some. This is a little card that came with it. Iguana pop-up bed net. I got that, and I got a little bit of paracord in here for staking it down. But I haven't even set it up. When I was working all them hours at work, I ordered this thing online. I ordered it off eBay. Now, I think the Iguana used to make just the pop-up bed net, but the Camo made the bed net, but they also made a pole, a tent pole that goes across the top where you could put a poncho, or they sold a tarp that went with it. But I thought I could just use like an overhead tarp, or maybe just put like a stick or a paracord line and hang a tarp over it. But the way this thing works, you pop it open. Now, there was a lot of people on the internet that was talking about you just take this thing and you just spring it open, but that's what makes the poles break. Now, the poles are basically irreplaceable. Oh, and I got some tent stakes. They don't come with tent stakes. I added that. But anyway, these poles, they're not like a regular fiberglass pole. Can you see that pole right there? It's like an 1/8" solid fiberglass. And people were complaining about them things snapping. And so if it snaps, that's not good, because it's almost irreplaceable. And the people that have got replacement poles say it's almost impossible to put together. So, you know, some of them people on YouTube videos is just taking this thing and just slinging it out. Well, I don't think that's a good idea. I think you should gently let it pop open like that. And then gently let it come to life. Just like that. Isn't that cool? Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this thing over this way so that we can put stakes directly into the ground on that side, and then on this side I'll put some paracord and stretch it out, because I don't want to poke a hole in my tie vac. Now, they say the shelter is covered in that bug stuff. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I better check the little tag here. Permethrin, I think. Permethrin, 0.52%. Anyway, they say that after you wash it, it's totally coated, and you can tell because it's sticky. You get it out of the pack brand new and it's sticky, you can tell it's coated with that. Alright, so I'm going to put one right here. Oh, this is also made not just to be on the ground, but this is also made for the way it's got these straps here. It's also made to clamp down to a cot, which is pretty cool, because like in the future, whenever I bring my cot somewhere in the summertime, then I can set this thing up. If I know it's not going to rain, then I won't have to have a tarp overhead. Alright, so I got it right on the edge. That's the way I want it. Now I'm going to stretch out this paracord, and on the other side I'm going to stretch it out to there and put a couple of stakes down. Alright, I got this loop right here, and you can see how this thing's wanting to curl up on the end. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this thing tight. Just stab it down in the ground. Look at that. And then I'll go do the same down there on that end. Alright, this thing is a winner in my book. Let's crawl inside now. This thing's got dual zippers on each side, so you can get in or out on each side. Oh man, there's plenty of room in here. Plenty of room. All right, now let's crawl inside and I'll see if I can show you what it looks like on the inside. I love this thing. I wish I would have bought one years ago. I'd heard about them, but I never got around to buying one. And look, they got these tie outs up here on the top, and then they've got a place for a pole right here. And I guess you could pull on that if you had to. Anyway, let's go inside. Let's see. It's not very tall. Let's scoot all the way up. Oh, look, there's my feet. Now let's zip it up. Oh, I should have grabbed that first and zipped it up part of the way. All right, let's see if I can catch all this on video. It zips pretty good one-handed. All right, so here I am. Here's my stomach. And see, totally bug proof. That's awesome. And then you can put a tarp overhead if you're worried about it. All right, let's crawl out of here and see what we can do about hiding it. Now, anytime I try a shelter, a new shelter, I always try my best to get it to where I can hide it. So let's see when you can discover it. You might can see it now. I can't tell. It's hard to tell on the GoPro screen. And there it is. Now, how far away was it before you could see it? And see, that's just covered in that mesh. So it is breathable. You know, that won't keep the rain off, but it'll make it where you won't be seen. And you'll still get air. You just crawl in and throw it back over you like a blanket. See, there's plenty of room on this side. See, that covered up that entire white sheet. Now let's try one more time. All right, do you see it? Now that was called waterfowl, I think, camo. And this right here is either true timber or real tree. So let's try it and see if it's any better. The trick to camo is not being seen. You got to think about something, that if you're actively looking for it, you'll see it better. But if you just happen to casually walk by, you won't see it. So let's see if this camo's better. I've got another camo. I got a third green mesh camo, but it's green. And green would never work here. There's too much brown. You just got to kind of pay attention and see, you know, how well you could see it. So, all right. One more shot of camo, and then I'm going to show you how to wrap this thing up. Now, I think you're going to love how this thing gets put away. All right, pull up the stake. pull up the stakes. Just like that. I think that's part of the design too, of it being for the militaries, because it's so fast to stow away. But you lift these up, just like this, and then you touch it together. If I remember right, let's see, one, you're turning, it's like 2 circles are getting turned into 4. You flip this down, and then flip it over, and then you spread it together. Now see, that one is too small. That one was too small. They got to be even. You have to keep them pulled up together, because see, watch how that drops. See how that drops? It makes the circle small. You have to hold them together and pull them in a touch, and then push this in, and then this over, and then these go in together. All right, so what you got now is you got 4 circles. And then you take it and you push together and twist. Now I think this is where people break it. Oh, it makes me nervous when I do that every time. Oh, I hate doing that. But see how, because I think this thing's probably irreplaceable. I probably have to buy a whole new one. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even want to try to replace these poles. But I wished I'd have had one of these this summer. Isn't that thing great? Alright. Now, I'm going to put this stuff up, and before we head home, because I got to work tomorrow, we're going to play around with this new camo a little bit, because I've got a net gator and a head net. Alright, so let's play around with this camo for a couple of scenes to close out this video, because it won't be long, there won't be any green left, everything will be all brown. And this is supposed to be a thin summer type camo, but I never got around to wearing it. So let's play around and have a little fun with it. Alrighty, hope you enjoyed it, hope you had fun. This may or may not be a winter campsite, I don't know, I ain't decided yet. How well did the camo do? This stuff's labeled Mossy Oak, and I think it's Mossy Oak National Wildlife Turkey Federation. So anyway, I got to get out of here. So until next time, enjoy life, get out, play in the woods, act like a little kid. Because if you're young at heart, maybe your body will follow. We shall. See you in the next one.